customers on auto. In this video, we're going to talk about how we can use an automated messenger chatbot flow sequence together with a standard webinar funnel to help our client get more customers on autopilot. So let's get into it. So firstly, we're going to talk about webinar funnels, what they are, what kind of businesses they are, explain exactly how they work. For those of you who are familiar with these, it might be just good as a quick recap and to fill in the blanks and gaps of your knowledge. And for those of you who are not exactly sure what it is, then you won't know how Messenger can help with it. So as I'm going through, I'll explain, and you can see it within a mapped out funnel in a while. I'll explain why they are successful and what do they look like. So this is a standard webinar funnel mapped out, and we'll come back to this later on, and I'll also show what it looks like with a messenger sequence attached to it. So firstly, what is a webinar funnel? If you have been around the internet, which I'm sure you have, then you're probably very familiar with the concept of either seeing an advert or being contacted by someone in a Facebook group, or you click on a link and it takes you to a landing page, and there's some type of pre-framing information about some topic, and we'll come on to that in a moment. And then you enter an email, you join a webinar. Later on, you attend the webinar live, you get lots of information, there's lots of different types of persuasion tactics being used, and there's lots of experts that give lots of good advice. Russell Brunson and his book Traffic Secrets is really good on this. And eventually at the end of the webinar, they invite you to join, and you start paying for their service, whatever it is. So what kind of businesses use these kind of webinar funnels? Well, the big three are anything to do with health, wealth, or relationships. Could be coaching programs, or someone inviting you to join some type of mastermind for learning about health and fitness. It could be some type of mastermind helping you start a business. And actually, this is the particular messenger flow that I'm building for a client right now, and which made me decide to create this video for you. So it can be used for anything. So how does it work? So all businesses rely on having leads put in. So it could be that the leads come in from Facebook adverts, or it could be that they come from social media. So someone has a post on Instagram in a story or in a reel, or it could be that you're in a Facebook group and someone reaches out to you or puts up some information, or it could be from any type of advert. And the standard way that it runs is that you get the traffic in. So let's say you're the viewer, you're the traffic. There's a landing page, some pre-framing it either through the advert, some type of landing page, usually with a video or a long-form sales copy letter explaining exactly what it is. And then at that point, you are asked for your email address. And I'm going to make the point that at this point, you're part of the audience of the person that invited you to the webinar. Now, it's important to note that the person that invited you to the webinar may not actually be the person holding the webinar. This is because of affiliate marketing, which a lot of people do, and maybe you're watching this video. It's a great way that people who run webinars, or anyone who's selling any kind of business or service, can help other people to get into their webinar and register, and they give a cut to the person inviting you. So I'm going to make that distinction here, that there's two people here. You've given your email to both the person who originally invited you. You're in their audience, and then also as you register, you're in the webinar participants retargeting audience. And of course, these could be the same or they could be different. The webinar is usually something that is held live, and quite often they are, and you have the option or the opportunity to ask questions and hear from other people. Quite often it's a replay of a previous live webinar. Obviously this is easier for people to organize. You only have to record it a few times till you get a good one, and then you can run it forever. So that's what a lot of people do, and that's fine as well. And then how it usually is structured is that you're told that it's live, and then you get retargeting emails inviting you to the webinar, and then inviting you to the replay, and then perhaps one more inviting you to the last time that they're playing it. And probably you'll get emails from the person who invited you at the same time, also pushing you into watching this webinar. So why is the webinar funnel so successful? And let's be honest here, we know that it's a successful funnel because they run for so long and there's so many of them, and they do a good job. People want to watch things, they like to hear about ways to improve their life through their health, wealth and relationships, and that's why this funnel works so well. So why are they so successful? Well, one, because they are both visual and auditory, you're actually hearing from people, and you're hearing from a variety of people. I've watched a lot of webinars in my time, and they make good use of, for example, using people from lots of different countries. So wherever you are in the world, you're hearing someone with your accent. I think in the past, a few years ago, it used to be just full of American voices, and then the first time I heard some webinars with someone else with a British accent, it got me to perk up and start paying attention. So that's one thing. Plus repeat touch points. As you're probably aware, it takes a good number of touch points, usually 7 is the often quoted number, before someone signs up for something. And there's also good opportunity, because it's the standard is like an hour-long webinar, to use different types of persuasion techniques. I've mentioned before in previous videos about Aristotle's 3 points of ethos, pathos, logos, so appealing to authority. And if it's someone doing a webinar, then they've already got that pre-frame of authority because they're the ones speaking. Pathos is talking about emotion, which the human brain works very well on making its decisions based on emotion and then backing it up with logic. And when you have people appealing to emotion in the webinar, then that helps it's helpful to be a very persuasive technique. And finally, logic, where you're backing things up with facts and figures. And if you've done a good job of emotion, and Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow does a great job of explaining this, if you've done a good job of emotion, then the logic just backs it up. And also it's because it's, as I explained, there's usually a webinar, a replay, and then a closing out final opportunity to listen to the webinar, to the live webinar. You can make good use of tactics such as urgency, scarcity, spaces are filling up, and good old FOMO, fear of missing out. So let's have a look at how this looks in a standard funnel and how it looks with Messenger attached to it. So basically this is what I'm doing for my client at the moment. So my client is inviting people to watch an hour-long webinar and invite them into a mastermind group. There is a one-off entry fee, and then when people actually join the group, they can pay for different courses and meet up with other like-minded people and share their thoughts and their successes And it seems like it would be a very good system for building a community, which is a very successful way to market something, and also selling different types of courses. So he is so far has been doing YouTube videos about what he's offering and the lifestyle that it offers, and Instagram stories and posts, and Facebook. He has been active on his Facebook page, but as you are probably aware, putting posts on your Facebook page usually guarantees that you get very minimal interaction, because Facebook is not letting you get away with just getting your message out there, especially if you're selling something. It is very much a pay-to-play platform. Instagram, there's a lot more engagement and opportunity. And then also he's been very active in Facebook groups and contacting people. And actually that's how we got to know each other, in a Facebook group for entrepreneurs. And I was there and discussing about Messenger, and he originally got in contact to find out if I would be interested in joining this mastermind group, and then he found out more about what it was I was offering, and now we are putting together a messenger funnel for his webinar funnel. We're going to be doing it a little bit on a higher scale, because we're going to be introducing Facebook adverts, and these are Facebook adverts that are click to messenger, so people will be seeing adverts and it'll take them into a messenger funnel that will work together with this standard webinar funnel. So let's go through this. I mean, from the previous mind map, you can see this is just all mapped out using my funnel mapping software, which this makes it really easy to explain things with clients. So this is his current funnel. He is using these traffic sources, as I mentioned before. He's inviting people to his landing pages, opt-in page, and they have a little video, I think it's about 2 minutes long, explaining what the mastermind group is about and inviting them to register. So at that point, he's getting people to give their email address. And he is an affiliate for this. So the webinar, the mastermind group that's hosting the webinar get, let's say, your email address, and he does as well. So now he has a series of automated newsletters that go out, and they are coinciding to remind you to basically join the webinar at the time that you registered for. So you register for the webinar. There's some follow-up emails reminding you to join the webinar live, and the software can determine whether you attended the webinar or not, and will send out emails inviting you to join the webinar. So I don't know exactly what the statistics are, but let's say if it's just 5% from the opt-in page, for everyone that joined the opt-in page, if 5% go to register for the webinar, and only 5% go and watch it live, and 5% go to the replay and sign up, you can see that over time the number of people gets less and less and less. This funnel is dependent upon having a large amount of traffic going in. However, the more retargeting emails you send, the more you can encourage people to go and watch the webinars and join up. So he's sending out these emails, and email marketing has got, I think, a standard of about 20%. I don't know what his statistics are, but we're using the figure of 20%. We've got his first email, let's say 20% of people open that, and his email is inviting people to the webinar, and then if they missed it, inviting them again, reminding them. And also in the emails, he's giving out very useful content about what exactly is in the webinar and the benefits of joining the mastermind group. And I've been through all of his emails, and he's done a great job of making use of some of the tactics that we discussed: credibility, emotion, logic, a lot of talking about some of the people in the mastermind group who give lectures about various social media topics and online digital marketing topics. And some of his emails use emotion about, if you really want to change your life, then you need to, if you want things to change in your life, you have to change things in your life. And some very good tried and trusted methods of persuasion, and lots of logic as well, lots of statistics about about people, especially in the last year with COVID, the amount of people that are out of work and looking to start new businesses. So he's making good use of that in his email newsletters. But you can see that you're very much reliant upon these kinds of figures. These are the statistics for email marketing and webinars. These particular set of webinars, I don't know exactly what the statistics are. Let's have a look at how this works when we add a messenger funnel, which is what customers on Auto and myself provide. So, same start, which is traffic sources. What I will be doing for him will be having, instead of going directly to the landing page, as it was in the previous funnel, I will be using what we call click to messenger adverts. So if he is directing people from his YouTube page or his Instagram page, there will be a link that will open up in Messenger. And if it's Facebook adverts, it will be a direct click to messenger advert. And if he can still obviously interact with people in groups and share value in Facebook groups and get people into a private messenger chat and explain a bit, and then share them this link, and the link will open up in Messenger, and that will be connected to his business Facebook page. Messenger chatbot flows can only be connected to a Facebook business page, much like an advert, and not a personal profile. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos or seen my website, then you know why I'm so bullish, so excited about Messenger, is that it is a great platform and it has a much higher rate of open rates and click-through rates than email marketing. So email marketing, the standard is about 20% that's open rates, with click-through rates of about 3%. However, with Messenger, the standard open rates is around 80% with a click-through rate of around 30%. So you can definitely see that when you're doing something like this with multiple touch points, it is just likely to result in much more conversions. And if you write the chatbot flows very well and make use of good persuasion techniques, and I did a whole other video talking about this in more detail, which is somewhere in the collection of videos, then you can see how it would work very well. And then the other major benefit is, going back to this point, which is the point I was going to say, is that once you've got an email address, you've got an audience. When you've got an audience, you can reach out to them again and again and again. They may unsubscribe if they're sick of your emails, but until they do that, you can contact them again. And if you keep them entertained and educated throughout your correspondence with them, then eventually you may get them either to sign up for your webinar later on, or perhaps another product that you're selling in the future. Same thing with Messenger, is also an audience creation platform, but it is one that has much better rates of engagement. It is the platform that people use more than email. Everyone, I'm sure, if you think about all the people you contact, it's much more likely you contact them through a messaging platform like WhatsApp or Instagram or Messenger. And this is just the way that we communicate in the modern age. So it makes sense to get people to join you in a platform that they use on a more regular basis, they're more comfortable with, and just like emails can be automated, messenger chats can be automated, and they're much more entertaining and faster, rather than when an email comes, someone's got to actually go through the hassle of looking through their inbox and clicking on the email and reading the email, and it's going to be long, and they can easily get distracted. However, a messenger chatbot flow, it will take them it's a very quick procedure to get them to read it. They press buttons on their side of the conversation to make the messages flow through the conversation, and flow through a conversation to arrive at some type of conversion. Conversations designed for a conversion, that's one of our key messages at Customers on Auto. And in this case, it will always be about going back to the webinar. That's what we're going to be creating for our client. So once again, we've got all these different traffic sources. It opens up in a messenger chatbot, and after they've interacted, we can take we take them through this messenger flow and collect their email address along the way. So they go into the opt-in page. I'm going to actually add one line here, that from the chatbot opt-in, we can collect their email address at this point, and we do, so that immediately from Messenger you have this connection to where the email newsletters start, as well as having a call to action at the end of the Messenger flow, which takes them to the opt-in page. So you've collected their email address even before they've gone here. Now think about it in scenario 1. Let's go back to scenario 1. In scenario 1, when you've taken them from the traffic source to the opt-in page, if they don't put their email address in here, that's it. They've gone. You've lost them. Unless you can retarget them again somehow through Facebook retargeting adverts. So the great benefit here, and remember, our number one goal as marketers, or if you're trying to sell anything to anyone, is to create an audience and keep them as your audience. The longer they're your audience, the more possibility you have to reach them. I talk more about this in my free 15-page ebook, which you can also download from somewhere in. I'll put the link below. That link also opens in Messenger. So you've got them as a Messenger subscriber once they interact here. You've collected their email address and you've sent them to the opt-in page. If you've done a good job within the Messenger flow of getting them excited about the opt-in page, which we do, then they'll sign up. And then it's the same thing. They may they'll go on to register. They may watch the webinar live. They may not watch it and have to see the replay. And as the newsletters go out, the same as before, they will coincide with the webinar. However, this time we also have this Messenger flow, which is an automated conversation that is designed to work in tandem with these newsletters that are encouraging people to go to the webinar. So you have multiple touch points here. You have emails going out. You also have Messenger messages going out. And remember, these have much higher open rates of over 80% with click-through rates of 30%. So you can see now how much more likely it is that someone who is interested in the webinar is going to actually go through and register and watch the live webinar and the replay. So that is the webinar funnel with Messenger attached, so you can see exactly what it is we're going to be doing for our client. And once we have been doing that for a period of time, then I will, with his permission of course, do another video with showing the results that we're going to get for him. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Either you can leave a message under this video, wherever you're seeing it, in the group, or in my group, How to Build Bots and Influence People. You may be watching this there on Facebook, or you may be watching this as a YouTube video. But feel free to get in touch, or you can contact me at the website customersonauto.com. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any other comments or you want to know more about Messenger, just get in touch with me at any time. Okay, have a good day. Bye.